The Secretary-General of the ANC, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, Mr. Razmataz, Mr. Fear Fokol, he is so pissed off at these guys, at these ANC members who love Julius Malema so much. He's so pissed off at these ANC guys who keep praising Julius Malema. So Fikile Mbalula took this time to actually address these ANC cadres who love Julius Malema, who love to praise Julius Malema. I mean, like some of these cadres, they love Julius Malema so much, it's almost as if they want to go and join the EFF. So the Secretary General, he is not happy about that. Fikile Mbalula is not happy about that. So right now, he is going to take his time to make these people aware that him, as the Secretary General of the ANC, he is not, he's not happy about this. He's not happy about the ANC members who keep showing love to Julius Malema when they are going to 2024. It's election time, and these people are busy praising Julius Malema instead of putting work for the ANC. How dare? How dare, man?
How do I get it?
Tell him.
No, uduti koning ya we get it a stock felle. If it le tswantse le tle o rona le kope le re hlalosetse maqiti a lo a sebedisang lore le batla o fitlhella eng ha le tšhentšha masepala le batla o kenya mang ska ba la iketsetsa fela le dule mo le ya odimo le tlase le batho ba di overall tse khubedu le sa re yetsa hore le a kae le tswantse le re hlalosetse ntho tse ska ba la waria ka Magashule ba rona kopantse mokiti wa dikatsi mo a re tlo announce political party a tsama lo mongwe wa di marugo a manyane ba kopane mo ke se tibelang batho ba o kekebe wa ba wa shouta di praise tsa political party engwe batho a very green and gold
never
ara ANC haebe o rata Malema tsamaya le yena ska ba tlo rasa mo kara ANC o palame ru shebile o mo praise o le mo le stadium le o dimi ka re ke Beyonce yetse mo kitu
I mean, shame, man. You know, Ace Magashule, he always gets these shots, man. Every time Fikile Mbalula is out there speaking, he's throwing shots at Ace Magashule, man. Fikile Mbalula loves kicking a dead, man. Ace Magashule is a dead dog right now, man. Every time Fikile Mbalula goes out there, he makes sure that he mentions the name of Ace Magashule. You remember last time there in Paris, there was protest after Ace Magashule was expelled from the ANC. There were protesters there. They were banning the ANC regalia, and Fikile Mbalula was not really happy about that, man. And Fikile Mbalula has never forgiven Ace Magashule since then till now. Till now, every time Fikile Mbalula goes on stage, he makes sure that Ace Magashule, he gets his package, man.
Uskaba tlo etsa ntweo o le kara ANC mo o tsama le rona hape ha o tsama le rona ha be neng a ro thabisi le gotla le a le sa o tshwara monate ba ka o tsama ya re batho ba tsamaya mara a re o lokolla tu tare thabela batho ba re sia mara tsamaya Mutweleng Magashule azanga etsetsa batho ba Freestata anything except bagotsi ba hae. So lona le tshwere mogatlo no le sa bua ka motho eleng hore nako a e fedile. Le tshwere police. Ke lona le di chairman no ha sa le yo motho. Ba re bulalla bo masipala mo ma councilor ana re sugudisa gore ba resign. He ke ba emetse. Aba resign re tlo ba replace. O bone mo le mangau le ba etsa mokiti wa dikatsere ba ntshitse ka ofela moruti ba tsi moruti o ke moruti wa ka le ke dula le ena le Maafrika mara ke na o bua tsengata rutwana haholo ampe le UDF United Democratic Front ke motho a sebeditseng haholo jwale.
And Fikile Mbalula is so charismatic. Guys, I'm sure this guy, after President Ramaphosa, this is the best candidate for the ANC, man. I'm telling you.
Comrades, there must be development here in the Free State. I'm very happy, policy, when you took over. o etsa di reshuffle tsa hao o tsamaisitse ba na le bofokodi ba bang o santsane ba keepile, that's good. Le bao ba na le bofokodi ha ba nahana hore re tsamaisitswe ka phoso ba tla dula ke ba iponatse hore wena o no re jella tlala fela rona ra sebetsa o sebetsa jwale le rona khale re ntshwa ditulong moruti re sebetsa ka mafolofolo re le di ministera tse hlwahlwa tsa maponisi.
Fikile. Guys, Fikile Mbalula has never been an exceptional minister, man. Fikile Mbalula, the only thing that he has done is talk a lot on the social media. Fikile Mbalula has never actually done anything. From the Minister of, I think, Police, from the Minister of Sports and everything. Fikile Mbalula must be honest with us, man.
Aphosa maontsha stulo. Marukwa ya fatshe ke kentse suti ya ka ke ratang. Ntho tse di a etsala. There's nobody who's an untouchable in the ANC. Matata lona muskabala mpita muthu wa Free State ke muthu wa chosen na. Ne ke tsamai gale mo. Le matata lona. That is why o ka senqeti. Aba le confused ba re ke tswa Eastern Cape. Ka ba kile ka ya thabeng kwa Eastern Cape. Itse ke khutla. Ha ba tsebe hore ntwe ya le bollo ke ntwa lapeng bana no re ba re ke utswitswe ke tshoni engene ke utsuwa yoang ka setso sa lapeng. Ha ona monna ka bang kutswa nna ma. Wa mpona le wena o shebile hore a ke utswe. Yale a ke tswa sekolong se ke sekolo le bollo.
Razmataz.
Sekolo. Ha o fela mo ha o tswa mo o tswa o le pashasha. Yale bare ke tswa Eastern Cape and so on. So Free State mo ke sebaka sa bohlokwa. And Free State mo ke le hae la African National Congress. Una le mokete wa dikatse mo. O llelwa motho e mong mo. Bare mo iketse a le. Wa tseba mo tsinya bothateng ha ke re llele. Ensia se mokete wa dikatse.
Tell him.
Ke le khotla la setjhaba.
Exactly.
Mbalula ba tla feta mona empa le khotla lena le kebela fela. Le tshwantse le dule le tile le bile le DA Magoa mokgatlo wa Magoa ke re lo tseba le mokgatlo wa Magoa wona o a o batla o tseba funya fehle o ibone ka mo ka kapa ka mo ntho e tswang ke batho bao ba qeta o tlantsha batho ba di taxi mo a ba qeta ba re no bona ba lwantsha botlokotsebe ba atelletse batho ba rona ka ba lona le tlwaetse o tshwaruwa hampe ke di driver tsa di taxi mo Zamdela le nana re nthwele ya kapa ya tshwana le lona mo le Cape Town taxi ya nkuwa o tsuba o sena batho ka ra taxi ba yenka ba re utsubelang ha o rulo e lata ba re 10,000 motho wa taxi o tla nka ka 10,000 wa tseba 10,000 ti tswa taxi o bolela hore kgwedi eo kaofela bana ba je ke ntwe ha se o bolaya besa ga ya motho e motho batho ba di taxi bana le o tswa tseleng le nna nkile ka ba jwetsa mo randizi ba nqakile mo mar ke bera ba ra lwanela o tlatlapua batho ba batho obane besa ga eo ke yone le kintseng dikolong business yeo ya taxi yona e re sukudisang le questioning mo e re tshwantse re lokise ke yona e re isang dikolong ka tlasa mmuso wa boanyapetsi mane Kapa ba ya hatella kgwebo e utlwe batho ba re ha re tsebe hore ANC re etsetsa eng ka nako eo motho o ja modelle o na le bana ba 3 o ka ra ntlo ya RDP.
But Fikile Mbalula, that is the government. That is not the ANC, man. We are just be technical about it. So now people must be happy that the ANC gave people grants and built people houses. It is not the ANC that actually gives people grants. It is not the ANC that builds people's RDP. It's the government. It is not the ANC. It is the government. It is the government. That is what the government is supposed to do. It is not something that the ANC just did because they feel for our people. It is something that the government must do. The government must build houses for its people. The government must make sure that people have grants and everything. It is the government. It has nothing to do with the ANC, man.
Rena le kutlwisiso e felletseng hore ntwa ya setjhaba le tokoloho ya batho ba bo rona ha re soka re fihlella pheletsong ya teng.
And why is that? Why is that, man? The ANC they've had 30 years, guys. Just imagine 30 years. These guys have been in power for 30 years. The African National Congress has been in power for 30 years, man. Sometimes I look at South Africans when they keep talking about ZANU-PF and saying that Zimbabweans must go out there and make a different choice to kick ZANU-PF out. We ourselves, we have not exercised this democracy that we keep talking about. We have never elected another political party to actually govern the whole South Africa, man. These guys have been in power for 30 years, but you still have people like the Secretary-General of the ANC out there saying that we have not done everything that we can for our people. Why is that? Why is that? Because going to 2024, this was the election that the ANC was supposed to be like, okay guys, this is what we have done for our people, and we promise you that we can do more. For 30 years, you still have kids who are dying in pit toilets for 30 years. For 30 years, you still have children who are dying in pit toilets, man. There are so many problems in South Africa right now, man. These guys have been in power for 30 years. Right now, South Africa, it has the highest unemployment rate in the world. The graduates are now sitting at home doing nothing. The graduates right now, they are at home doing nothing. Just imagine, man. People from 18 to 35, a lot of these people, 60% of them, they are at home doing nothing. These are the people who are capable to work. They are at home doing nothing. So you can't tell me that you have done something for our people, whereas the youth is suffering so much. The South African youth is suffering is the most piece of demographics that is suffering the most in South Africa, man. The South African youth is suffering so much right now. You can see that is why right now you can see a lot of young people are now going into drugs. Some people are going to drugs. Some people are now drunkards. Some people they smoke nyope. Some people they smoke it's a lot. People are trying to cope with this whole thing of not working, man. People are trying to cope with the embarrassment of not getting an income, man. People feel embarrassed, man. People feel like right now they are burdens to their own families because they are not working. But they went to university, they come back with a heavy debt, and right now they are not working. A lot of these guys who come from the universities, they have debt right now. Some of these people are sitting on 100,000 of debt, 80,000, 60,000. How are these people supposed to pay for that when they simply cannot find work in South Africa, man? Even some of these young guys who are not particularly looking into finding works, who are innovators, they are not fully supported there by the ANC. What is it exactly that the ANC is doing for the young people of South Africa, man? What is it doing for the innovators, for the young creators in South Africa, man? Nah, man. To think that these people have been in power for 30 fucking years, man. 30 fucking years these guys have been in power. They've done nothing. Absolutely fuck all, man. For our country to be where it is right now,
comrades, must tshwantse re win. O bone batho ba rona almost after 30 years ba lahlela tawele ba re a re tsebe hore ANC etsa motho a bua le ka hara ntlo ya RDP pelo ya o utlwe bohloko hore e ka ba ke eng re sa etseng e sa kgone ho fihlella batho ba rona hore ba bone hore mekitinyana ye ntse le teng e kekebe ya ba etsetsa letho ke ANC e tlisitseng diphetoho maphelong a batho ba borona. But in 30 years una le moya wa pherekano ka ro batho ba rona ba bang ba bona ba setse bana le tumelo ya hore ibile ka re ha ona ntwe ba yentse. Re na le batho ba 17 million ba phelang ka grant system in South Africa. Ki di qeto tse nkuweng ke African National Congress ka kutlwisiso e felletseng ho lwantsha bofuma.
Yeah, but guys, you cannot campaign on grants, man, when people are not working, man. You cannot campaign on grants when people are not working. People are not working, man. How can you campaign on grants when people are not working? Do you believe that people care about those grants? People, they don't care about grants, man. People are only receiving grants because there's nothing they can do. But people, they want to work. People, they want to empower themselves. People, they don't want to depend on the state to build them 2 rooms houses and give them 350 grants. That people, they don't want that. People want to be independent. People want to find jobs, man. People want to be supported. People are innovators out there. But you cannot campaign on telling people that you are giving 17 million people grants. No, man, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. Because right now, he's saying it sounds like a favor that the ANC is doing to the people. It sounds like a favor that the ANC is doing to the people, man. You can't campaign on the fact that the ANC gives people grants. You can't. You need to campaign on the fact that the ANC has been able to provide people with jobs. People are now able to support their families because there are now jobs right now in South Africa. But they don't want to talk about jobs. They don't want to talk about innovators. They don't want to talk about creators. They don't want to talk about any of those things. You cannot campaign about you have 17 million people getting cancer. That is not something that you can campaign on. If anything, that thing shows you that you failed as a government. The fact that you still have 17 million people getting grants, it shows you that you have failed as a government. Because if half of those 17 million people were working, they would not even give a damn about grant. If half of that 17 million was working, they would not give a damn about grant. People, they don't want grants, man. Do you think people, they like this whole idea of waiting for 350s? Do you think people, they like the idea of waiting for 500 so that they can feed their children? Do you think that people really like that? Do you believe that people don't want to work for themselves? People want to work for themselves. People want to wake up every day in the morning to go to work so that they can provide for their families. No one is thrilled about this whole thing of 17 million people getting grants in South Africa. If anything, that thing shows you that as a government, you have failed. You have failed. If you have so much people depending on grants, it means that you have failed as a government, man.
Uma lekana ore ngwana like abaneng o lahletswe ke ntate wa bana bontate ba tseba ho tsa bana motho wa ba lahlela ore bana re tshwantse re ba hlokomele re ba hodise ka sheko bana ba ya sekolong ha o patale le school fees rona o no patalwa school fees ha ona ngwana a tla reng a ke kgone ya sekolong obane ke bolawa ke tlala tse ding tsa dikolo re kintse hore bana ba je sekolong school feeding system. You know, comrades, it's very easy to be opposition. Ubula political party ubuan to.
Exactly, man.
But it's difficult to be government.
I don't believe
you govern. So if you govern, and
so the ANC wants us to believe that it is actually it is difficult to govern and actually provide the services that the people need. Is that difficult? When you have all this power, is that difficult? What is difficult about governance, man? What is difficult about governance? The only thing that makes governance difficult is you guys with your corruption there. The corruption there is making everything difficult. Not the fact that governing is difficult.
Every time you are worried about your opponents, you must be worried about governing. You must be worried about the fact that there is load shedding in this country, which we must get rid of.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that we have load shedding today in South Africa?
As the ANC.
Whose fault is it that we have load shedding in South Africa? Is he going to hold ANC accountable for the fact that you have load shedding in South Africa? The same load shedding that has killed millions of small businesses. Is the ANC going to hold itself accountable for that? For the fact that millions of businesses have shut down because of load shedding? And the damage that the load shedding is doing, man. We have hospitals. We have businesses. People right now are being mugged. Houses are being broken into because it's dark. People are losing their appliances, man. Right now, people, they don't have televisions. Some of them, they don't have fridges because the load shedding has fucked that up. Why don't you talk about the losses that people are taking, man, due to this whole load shedding thing? And whose fault is it that today South Africa has load shedding? Whose fault is it? Because if you can praise the ANC for giving people 17 million people grants, surely you must be able to acknowledge that the ANC has done a terrible job in terms of providing energy for South Africans. Because, no, don't say it's government. It is not governance. It's the ANC. That's what you say. It's not us. Because I wanted to separate the ANC from governance, but it looks like the Secretary-General of the ANC wants us to believe that everything that the government is doing is because it's the ANC. The ANC said so. So which means right now the load shedding is the fault of the ANC. The only thing that makes ANC difficult to govern is because the ANC is too corrupt. The ANC is too big. The ANC needs to be broken down, man. The party is too big. The party is too big. It will never renew itself. It will never renew itself. No wonder why the former President Thabo Mbeki is out here furious at the ANC and is out here furious at President Cyril Ramaphosa. Because the ANC has vowed to renew itself. But how can an organization, a corrupted organization like the ANC, be able to renew itself? How can the ANC renew itself, man? The ANC. Oh, these guys are gonna need 3 witches, 2 sangomas, I don't know, and 3 apostles to renew that whole party, man. You're gonna need 5 witches, 2 sangomas, and 3 apostles to renew that whole party. The ANC will never renew. I believe that the ANC is going to die before it renews itself. And it will be so sad to watch because South Africans have given the ANC chance time and time again. The South Africans have given the ANC chance time and time again. But the ANC has failed to recognize that. They have failed to recognize that South Africans have given you a lot of chances, guys. Going to 2024, that is the biggest and the most crucial elections that the ANC has ever faced. Right now, people are preparing their life post the ANC. How crazy is that? People are talking about the fact that in 2024, it is the last year that the ANC will govern South Africa. I don't believe that personally. But I know that there are people who are talking about that.
And load shedding.
How?
Libito lata.
How?
Re kentse metlakase metseng ya batho le mekhukhu. Wa bona motho o nolla ka load shedding. A le ko the village in Eastern Cape. Hey, the load shedding. O tshwanetse o ralle ka load shedding because our people have always been under load shedding. They only saw light when the ANC came into power.
And what happened with that light, man? Yes, you did put electrical units in people's houses, but you cannot provide electricity. So what's the point? It's like telling people that every house has a tap right now because of the ANC, but those taps, they don't have water. So what's the purpose of you having a tap if you cannot access water with it? What's the point of people having all of these electrical boxes inside their houses when they don't have electricity? What's the purpose, man?
Hey, nukatu. Rekisitse tap. Kacharte. It is to against Nelifola strateng for tepe A1. Yes, mate, akaba toka ala maruna li tepe kacharte. Unali mutaka simpupu. Ntote udienzo ekinzi. Adia ikeza. It's because ANC made a commitment to our people that will bring basic services and deliver to our people.
Guys, personally, I don't believe that the ANC is supposed to be walking around telling people that we have 17 million people on grants and it is an achievement. It is not an achievement, man. An achievement is creating a conducive environment where businesses can thrive. That is the win. Telling people you have 17 million people on grants, telling people that you have taps, and some of these taps are providing dirty waters, man. You can see what's happening right there in Hammanskraal. Some of these taps are providing dirty waters, man. So guys, what do you think about Fikile Mbalula and telling you that they have 17 million people on grants? Please tell me on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, guys, please subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.